Pause up, little monsters! Period! Hey, are you there? Good day, yeah. Hey, are you playing? Truth or dare? Are you playing truth or dare? Are you playing truth or dare? Anyway, how is everybody doing today? Hi, Avance. You followed me when I was doing the starter tier list, I think, right? Was it the starter tier list or was it the Gen 1 tier list? I know that I was doing a tier list with the day that you like first popped in. So I'm glad that you're here because specifically we are doing a tier list for Pokemon Let's Go. Well, not Pokemon Let's Go Arceus. We're doing a tier list for Pokemon Legends Arceus. We already did one for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, so I figured, you know, why not do Let's Go Arceus, right? So that's what we're gonna do. I'm sorry if I'm a little blinky. We're still working out some of the kinks with this, but honestly, it's mostly figured out. Like I just calibrate it, you know what I mean? Like, this is a soft launch for the surprise for tomorrow. So, there are going to be some changes announced to the stream tomorrow, though. So, definitely pull up if you don't already pull up to the stream or you don't already keep up with what happens in the community like that. Like, it's not that it's anything big. It's not that it's anything big, but it is like this is definitely a soft launch moment. You know what I mean? Anyway, we're gonna get into that tier list now. So I hope everyone's doing well. I want to say hi to Rye. I want to say hi to Andalise. I am over here with a little bit of motion, Hopefully it looks good. Let's just get to it. So we have a tier maker here. Hold on. We're going to zoom in just a touch, girl, because it's hard to see for me. I know it's hard to see for y'all. So the tiers are, S tier is she get money, her body tea. A tier, she a baddie, she showing her panty. B tier, she a baddie with her baddie friend. C, she ain't everything. And then D is locals. The reason why, and so let me just explain the tiers to you. I will also probably be posting this VOD to YouTube, so stay tuned for that as well. She get money, her body tea. Essentially, I'm trying to keep continuity with the previous tier lists that I've done. So she get money, her body tea. It just means basically that like this Pokemon, and at least in this moment with this tier list, this Pokemon has everything that she needs and everything that she possesses already to be top tier. Like and it comes from that like very popular like viral video where it's like she get money, her body tea, she's super thick, she's super pretty, she get money. Like these Pokemon have the whole package. There's nothing wrong with them. There's no changes that I would make. There's no issues. There's no thoughts. There's nothing else. She a baddie, she's showing her panty. Can you see my cursor? Let me know if you can see my cursor. She a baddie, she's showing her panty essentially is like a it's a, we see it. Thank you. Hi, Gooey. She a baddie, she's showing her panty basically means like it's a good Pokemon and it's showing out. It has potential to be she get money, her body tea, but it's not really just giving what it needs to give for it to be the full package, but it's a lot of the package. It's showing a lot of good qualities that make it a top tier Pokemon, but not the best Pokemon, right? She a baddie with her baddie friend. This indicates that some Pokemon that are going to be put on this list are not necessarily fully showcasing what they need to be a great Pokemon, let alone the top tier. And the thing about she a baddie with her baddie friend, a lot of times it's just that they're missing a couple of the marks to be at a higher level than what they could be. She ain't everything. It literally means she ain't everything. It means that this Pokemon is good. This Pokemon needs a lot to be great, but it's not bad either. Locals, this means that this Pokemon is very pedestrian, it's very local, it's either too popular, overrated, which normally the overrated Pokemon go to the she and everything category as well, just because a lot of the overrated Pokemon seem to have good qualities in the first place. But the locals specifically, they're like, if a Pokemon's going into the local category, it's because this Pokemon does not really showcase what it needs to really be placed on a higher level on the tier list. Right. So all that to be said, we're just gonna start off with it. You can see my Yes, you can see my cursor. Okay, so we're gonna start off just the way that the tier list is made. It seems to go in some form of order, but it's hard to tell exactly what the order is because it's not fully in like Pokédex order. I don't know what the full T is, but anyway, and we're not going to do all these unknowns. I'll tell you that right now. I'm going to leave those unknowns for the bottom. Like, I'm not going to touch them. I don't care. Pikachu, great Pokemon. T. And so the thing about because Legends is a Generation 8 game, it has all of the previous forms in the code of the game, but they're not in the no, they're not all by national dex number. No, that's what I was saying. Because like, why is Crobat here and all the unknowns are here and like all these Pokemon are here, but then like the Gen 5 Pokemon, like they're right here? I mean, maybe they are national dex number because this is like all the Gen 5 Pokemon are together. They really don't add in a lot of Pokemon after Gen 5 though, I noticed. Anyway. Yeah, so like Alolan Vulpix is in the game because Vulpix is in the game. And the like Alolan Vulpix, like it is what it is. But it's not like you can't go out and find an Alolan Vulpix, I don't believe. But you can transfer one in. So we're gonna start off with Pikachu. I like Pikachu in this context. I think Pikachu is she ain't everything. In previous tier lists, Pikachu has ranked higher, but in this context, Pikachu ain't everything. How now? Raichu is giving Shea Baddie or her buddy friend. You know, it's survival of the fittest out here when we're out here in Hisui. So it's a little bit difficult sometimes to quantify the power of a Pokemon or the greatness of a Pokemon when the power is what's really being considered here. You know, I personally think that, girl, am I tweaking out? I hope I'm not tweaking out. Like my VTuber model. Is she tweaking out? Let me know if she's tweaking out. Thank you. Pikachu, she ain't everything. Raichu, she a baddie with her baddie friend. Raichu is giving more than Pikachu in this context because when I was playing the game originally, I had a Pikachu on my team because I love Pichu, and so I caught a Pichu. It was a great moment. Maybe I'll take the Pichu that I caught last episode or last stream, really, because I think I got it when I was doing my half episode. But maybe I'll put that on my team. I haven't decided. Great Pokemon, boring. Nothing serious apart from the blinks. Oh my god. I don't know why it's like not picking up like my eyes all the way. Maybe it's because I'm sitting too high. Anyway, so thank you, Gooey. Love Raichu. I'm glad she's above Pikachu. I don't love Raichu. I think Raichu gets a bad rap. Clefairy, similar energy. She a baddie with her baddie friend. Clefairy is a great Pokemon, but Clefairy doesn't stand very well on her own, especially in this context. You know, Clefairy kind of struggles sometimes to really like make moves in the context of the game, in the greater context of the game. Clefable, she a baddie, she's showing her panty. I love the design of Clefable. Clefable is a relatively powerful Pokemon. We don't have a lot of Pokemon that are dragon types in this game, but you know, I think that Clefable really still does get the job done when we need her to. I think that Clefable would be a really interesting pick for this game, especially because it's like, you have to consider that we're in a very harsh, rugged landscape, and to have a cute, hyper pink, hyper femme Pokemon like Clefable on your team, it means that you're not only thinking about your survival, but you're also thinking about fashion. And that is powerful. That is powerful, period. Vulpix, similar energy to Clefairy, Clefable. Same with Alolan Vulpix, which I really don't even want to put on the list yet because like you don't get access to Alolan Vulpix unless you transfer it in, which means a lot of people don't get to transfer it in unless they got an Alolan Vulpix from Sword and Shield or from Scarlet and Violet. Regular Ninetales, Cantonian Ninetales. She and Maddie, she's showing her panty. Maybe even she get money her body tea because I love Ninetales. I think Ninetales is such a big step up from Vulpix. It's almost kind of crazy to think about, to be honest. But it is what it is. Like, it's very much like the vibe of like, you know, I think that there could have been a middle step between Ninetales and Vulpix, and I think that would have really went strong. Hi, CMB. But that's all I have to say on the matter. It's like Ninetales is just like Ninetales is like the champ, especially in a context of this kind of region where you know we're already doing something based on like Japan of a previous era, and so a previous era of Japan where something like Ninetales would have been somewhat venerated more so than a lot of other Pokemon. She gets like top marks. Like this is really her era. This is her moment. In this moment, in this very moment, I'm king. In this very moment, I slay Goliath with the sling. Period. And you know who she did slay with the sling a little bit? Growlithe and Arcanine. But we're not gonna get there. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Anyway, give me like 2 seconds, please. Okay, 2 seconds taken. Thank you. Let me go back to the full screen moment. I just had to recalibrate Miss Girl because like I love a little bit of a pretty pink I'm calling this I'm calling this model Pretty Pink VT because originally hi damsel. Originally I was calling the PNG tuber model Pretty Pink PNG, so I'm calling this one Pretty Pink VT. But anyway, like I was saying, Ninetales, top marks. Zubat, local. I like Zubat. I like what Zubat line does, but Zubat and Golbat are giving very much local energy. The only reason that Golbat gets a little bit of a higher mark from me is because I like the moment that Golbat kind of provides to the girls after an evolution is called for. You know what I mean? Paris, local. Parasect, Shiabati were her buddy friend. These Pokemon are all over Hisui, and whenever you interact with them, they're very like very detrimental, very aggressive. She's giving mad, she's giving all over the place, she's giving fighting for her life, she's giving I'm fighting for my life, she's giving why are you so angry? I thought we were friends. I thought we were here for a good time. You're a little mushroom crab. Why are you fighting me and trying to kill me like we're in fucking Lord of the Rings? Please. Psyduck. She ain't everything. I like a little bit of Psyduck, but Psyduck is a similar energy to Paris for me, where it's like, bitch, why are you trying to fight me? I'm literally just here minding my business, trying to get my little missions done or whatever, and you're over here fighting. Like, why are we fighting? You're over here sending me confusions and little water pulses and stuff. I'm just trying to live my life. Like, come on now. Golduck is the local for me. I like Psyduck better than I like Golduck. I'm not really interested in the whole debate on it. I like both of the Pokemon. If we were doing it differently than we're doing it, a lot of this is based off of their powers and their interactions with you in the game, based on my experience. You know, a lot of these Pokemon are very powerful. But the thing about these Pokemon being very powerful is that just because they're powerful doesn't mean that they're everything. Doesn't mean that they're perfect. Oh my god, am I blinking? Oh my god, oh my god. Okay. Growlithe, Shiabati were her buddy friend. I like Hisui and Growlithe. I like it a lot. 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 But she's not everything. Making Psyduck aggressive was a choice. But that's exactly what I'm saying, Gooey. Yes, CMB, it's Lord of the Rings out here. Like why are we fighting like this? Like I have nothing to give to you, Paris. Please leave me the fuck alone. Please leave me the fuck alone. Please. Are you playing truth or dare? Are you playing truth or dare? Tell me, are you playing? Give me a minute. Truth or dare? Are you playing truth or dare? So the next Pokemon would be... For some reason, it's not picking up that my eyes are open. Okay, now it is. Like, I don't know what that is about. Because my like I'm not over here sitting here closing my eyes like that. Like, okay, Arcanine. I like Arcanine. She a baddie. She's showing her panty. She's doing something really good for the girls, if you ask me. Really giving us something good that I think that we really deserve from her. And I really like to see it. I think that Arcanine is a very interesting Pokemon, especially in the Yasuian context, because it's venerated, because it, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know why she looks so sleepy. Like, what's tea? Like, I'm over here minding my business. I'm with my cookie, I'm with my juice, I'm hitting my microphone. Bitch, I'm all over the place. You know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not here to give you perfection. I'm here to give you realness. And this is the realness in the moment. So let me just try and recalibrate it one more time, because this is going to kill me if I don't. Okay, so back to business, right? We are on Abra. I like Abra. Abra is giving a she ain't everything kind of moment, because when you actually pull up on an Abra in um anyways, exactly, damsel. Anyways, like Abra, you pull up on Abra and Abra fucking disappears. That shit kills me. That shit kills me. I think it also might be because I'm backlit. So give me like 2 more seconds. After that, I'm just gonna sit down and we're gonna keep going. BRB once again. Okay, I'm back. Is it better? Let me know if it's better. Like, let me know if I'm still blinking and all over the place, like, because I'm trying not to, but it is what it is. Maybe Pretty Pink VT wants to do a blink rating. Anyway, so Abra is giving kind of like a little bit of a local energy, but not really, because she's so reclusive. She's so hidden from the general public. Like, we're not gonna find an Abra everywhere, but when you do find an Abra, she is fleeing immediately. It's like, was Abra here or was she not here? Because she teleports out of the area very quickly. It really doesn't make any sense to me. It's not really what I want it to be. Who's bald? Like, where does she have to go? Exactly. Maybe she's the pretty. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. And so the thing about like Kadabra, I like Kadabra. She have with her body friend. I like a little bit of Kadabra. Is still queening out. Honestly, oh my god. And see, this is the problem. This is the problem. What was the problem? What was the reason? What was the reason? What was the reason? I didn't do this. I don't know what the tea is. It's like, what am I supposed to do here? I think it's because I'm sitting so much like over here. Like I keep looking over here because like the chat is on my second screen, and my second screen is this direction. And then when I face y'all and I look at y'all, and then I look back, like when I'm facing y'all is when she closes her eyes. But like my eyes do not, like, I'm not sitting here with my eyes closed like that. This is so funny. Anyway, it is giving realness, isn't it, CMB? That's what I think. I like Kadabra because she has the pink marking. She's giving something very different from the other girls in her evolutionary line. But honestly, also the same thing is true for a lot of these middle evolutionary Pokemon in Generation 1 specifically, which we've already gone over to a very large extent because we did that before we started playing Let's Go Eevee. The thing about Kadabra is that she is aggressive, but she's also not going to clock your teeth too hard. And she's also going to stick around a little bit longer than Abra, even if she does disappear. Alakazam, if you were watching my stream the other day, Alakazam is kind of giving the same thing. I would love to give Alakazam Shiabati Shisho on her panty, but Alakazam is kind of scary. I saw, like, I met an Alpha Alakazam yesterday, and, girl, I was scared for my life. Because, first of all, Alpha Alakazam is huge. On top of the fact that it's aggressive, and not only is it huge and aggressive, it teleports right next to you to attack you. So if you're not ready, Alakazam is gonna make sure you're not ready. You know what I mean? Like it's giving you better be scared. It's giving Boogeyman is here. It's giving you're not ready for this. Like anyway, Machop, local, Machoke, he ain't everything. Machamp, she a baddie with her baddie friend. I like Machop, I like Machoke, I love Machamp, but Machamp doesn't really stand very strong on its own. Also, these Pokemon are similar to Abra, Kadabra, and Alakazam, where they're not easy to find. When you do find them, it's a little bit elusive and it's hard to catch them. And then, like, when you actually do get a hold of one and when you're actually starting to train it, it's like, oh, this is pretty good. This is not that bad. But then it's also kind of like, why am I, like, fighting to get these, like, evolutions done? Like I like the trade evolutions, I don't mind them, but in this game specifically, even when they give you a cheat around the need to trade with people to evolve your Pokemon, you still have to like bust your ass to make it happen, and that's really annoying to me. And that's the thing, Arai, is that like you don't even know they're in the game because you can go catch Machop. It's in a cave in the Fieldlands. And I was going to go in that cave in the Fieldlands and go catch a Machop. But I just never did. But they're in a cave in the Fieldlands. And that's the only place that I've ever seen Machop in the game. Tentacool, local. I barely seen Tentacool in my playthrough. I think you see Tentacool in like when you're in the open ocean. But I'm not really impressed by it, to be honest. Tentacruel, she ain't everything. I really want to put Tentacruel with She a Baddie with her baddie friend. Tentacruel kind of sits with the same energy of like some of these other final evolutions from Generation 1, where it's like, it's great. It was great when it was in Generation 1. Is it great now? I don't think so personally, but who's to say that she can't be perfect? She can't be everything that we need her to be. She can't be, you know, better than what she was supposed to be. I think that Tentacruel is kind of like when we're in such an occasion where there's a lot of Pokemon around us at any given moment and a lot is going on and there's a lot of more powerful Pokemon that you even interact with before you get access to Tentacruel and Tentacruel the way that you would need one to train one. You're not really focused on training one up. You're not really focused on using one unless it's your favorite Pokemon. Which a lot of people can't say that Tentacool or Tentacruel are their favorite Pokemon, and those who do are very niche. Geodude, local. Why are you trying to fight me? You're just a rock. Leave me alone. You're supposed to be a rock. Mind your business. Graveler, love Graveler. I love her little gimmick. Honestly, she's gonna be a She a Baddie with her baddie friend. Graveler does not stand alone on its own. I don't really like the design that much, but I think that it's a powerful Pokemon, especially for it to be a second stage in the evolutionary line. But Graveler is just Graveler. It's just Graveler. Golem sits at the same energy for me. Golem is one of the just like Machamp and Alakazam. Why do I have to bust my ass to get these little merit points or whatever the fuck they're called to evolve this Pokemon? And then like I'm trying to evolve this Pokemon. It was already hard to catch and hard to deal with. And then now I have to bust my ass to go get the item to evolve this Pokemon, even though evolving this Pokemon in regular means is also not easy. So it's like now I have to go further out of my way to be social, or I have to do a bunch of extra stuff. Not my time. Not my time. You can have it. It's not my thing. Ponyta, She a Baddie with her baddie friend. Ponyta is great, but Ponyta, until it is a certain level, Ponyta cannot stand on its own. I don't really care for it personally. Rapidash, I would say Rapidash should get money her body tea, but Rapidash is still not the full package for me. She a Baddie, she's showing her panty. Rapidash gives us a lot of good things with its like design and with its energy and with the vibes, but like the thing about Rapidash to me is it's not the full package because its design is lacking, its power can be lacking, especially because it's one of multiple Generation 1 2-stage fire type Pokemon, and it doesn't really stand out from the crowd unless you're getting the alpha Rapidash that you get like really early on, that you have access to really early on in the game. Hi, Sunny. Yeah, so this is just my personal opinions. Miss Pretty Pink VT is blinking all over the place, so bear with me. It took me so long to realize that it actually had a horn. Exactly. And that's why that's how you know that the design is lacking. It's like a pretty pink princess until you actually take a look at it and you're like, this is a little basic and it should have been a little bit more than this. Later Pokemon built on Rapidash, but it's its own kind of plane. Exactly. And that's valid. They didn't have as many colors when it was created, but I'm not even talking about its color scheme. I'm talking about all overall. You know what I mean? Gotcha. I'm seated to hear them. I only got me a Beautifly in this game and then closed it up. I know that's right. I love me a Beautifly. Magnemite, local. Honestly, you know what? Magnemite is not really a local. She ain't everything. I like Magnemite. No thoughts. Magneton. She ain't everything. It's just 3 Magnemites put together. It's better than just a singular Magnemite, if you ask me, but it's still not everything. It's not what I want to see. It's not what I like to see from a secondary evolution. I understand that this was part of the concept of Generation 1, but we've seen a lot of good things since then, and we're going to see a lot of more good things throughout this game as well. Ghastly, local, Haunter, because like, first of all, why are you fighting me? And that's my thing. Ghastly are not aggressive in any game except for Pokemon Legends Arceus. Hate it. Haunter, she ain't everything. Honestly, I would give Haunter Shiabati were her baddie friend. Haunter has a good design to me. I really like the energy. Honestly, I like Haunter more than I like Gengar. But I will put Gengar Shiabati Shisho on her panty because Gengar is a powerful Pokemon. It's a powerful ghost type Pokemon. Even though it's more as equally as difficult to evolve Gengar as it is with all these other Pokemon that I've talked about with these trait evolutions, and I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. I'm still like, she's a step above the rest. You know what I mean? And you can't take that away from her. Onyx. Now, Onyx was elusive to me. I don't even remember seeing an Onyx in my original playthrough. I don't know if I saw an Onyx in my in this playthrough that I have yet either. Baddie with her baddie friend. Onyx is a very interesting Pokemon to me, and simply based on its design and its concept alone, I think it can be a very interesting thing, but Onyx is not like my full tea, so I'm not gonna rank it any higher. Honestly, I'm being very generous by putting it in this B tier in the first place. Hisui and Voltorb, I like the concept. Shiabati were her baddie friend. And Electrode, same energy. I like the concept. They didn't really build too much on it. I would have loved to see like some added visual, especially to the Electrode, but I get what they were going with here. I think it's a little basic, a little bit simple, a little bit predictable, but I'm not mad about it. I'm just seeing it for what it is. Lickitung, I like Lickitung. Lickitung always gets high marks from me. I would say Lickitung is Shiabati were her baddie friend. It can be a relatively powerful Pokemon, and Lickitung does have a couple of gimmicks in its movesets. Normally, I did not use a Lickitung in Pokemon Legends Arceus ever or yet, but I like what I see from Lickitung overall, and I'm not mad about it at this moment. Rhydon, why are you trying to fight me? She ain't everything. Honestly, I would put Rhydon at a local, but you don't see a lot of Rhydons. Or is that Rhyhorn? Girl, I do not remember. I think this is Rhydon and this is Rhyhorn. Rhyhorn, Shiabati were her baddie friend. Powerful Pokemon, no thoughts. Chansey. I know a lot of people like Chansey. I don't care for Chansey. We've seen a lot of good pink support Pokemon since Chansey's release, since Chansey's debut, that have really done a lot of good things for the girls. Me personally, do not attack me for this. Honestly, attack me for this because I like to see the comments. Chansey ain't everything. Tangela. Shiabati were her baddie friend. Tangela is very interesting as a Pokemon. Tangela is very interesting as a Pokemon. But it really doesn't do a lot for itself beyond that. Like, yeah, you're giving us a little bit of a visual. I love the hairdo. I love the hairstyle. I love the moment, but it's not a lot for me. You know what I mean? Mr. Mime, honestly, she's showing her panty. You see Mr. Mime out in the wild, and it's kind of like, it's a little scary. It's a little like, you see, like just the regular Mr. Mime. First of all, Mr. Mime is aggressive, which is like already intimidating on its own. And then on top of that, it's like it's aggressive, and then it showcases its gimmick really early on too, where it's doing all the little like light screens and like protects and whatever else that the fuck that Mr. Mime is known for doing, all these little like psychic walls that it does. And then it's also like it's aggressive and it's hard to catch, and then on top of that it's pink, and then on top of that it's nostalgic. So it's like, too bad she's showing her panty because you're showing out, which is different than something like Chansey, where like you see a Chansey anywhere and Chansey runs the fuck away. I can't handle that, and I'm not in the mood. Please. Me ignoring the comments. Okay, let me read the comments. Chansey was the OG mother. You wouldn't have anything without her, which is why she's not a local. Hi Froggy. Less than Onyx. Yep. Love Blissey, adore Happini, but Chansey, nor. That's how I feel, Gooey. Less than Graveler. Yep. Nurse Joy, hell yeah. I mean, but that's my thing. Nurse Joy is not necessarily the best depiction of a healthcare worker. Not in the modern era. CMB, what did you want me to say about the comments? You're out here like flabbergasted that I put Chansey lower than Graveler and Onyx, but it's like at least Graveler and Onyx give a little bit of movement, a little bit of design, a little bit of concept, and then we see Chansey and it's like, ew. Also, Chansey is a little bit overrated. That's my actual opinion. I agree, damsel. She knows the disrespect she putting on Chansey's egg. Exactly. But the thing is that Blissey and Happini are gonna go higher than Chansey regardless. Not Onyx's Rock Slither.io. I'm sick. You're wrong for that. Okay, let's keep going. Anyway, why is Gooey on my side? You know, me and Gooey have a lot of disagreements, so Gooey being on my side, I must really be onto something. Slicer and everything. No thoughts. Honestly, no thoughts. Electabuzz. I like an electric type. She a baddie, her baddie friend. I like that evolutionary line a lot. Same with Magmar. Honestly, I would say Magmar is she a baddie, she's showing her panty for me. Because Magmar is giving that same energy as those queer villains from the Disney movies. Where it's like, even though it's not like a great Pokemon or anything, it's still like good enough that it's like, oh, well, this is giving a little bit of concept, it's giving a little bit of motion, it's giving a little bit of movement. Like, she has a design, she's giving a little bit of fashion. It's everything it needs to be for me. I love Magmar. That's my opinion. Magikarp, local, Gyarados, she a baddie with her baddie friend. Gyarados is a great Pokemon. Honestly, Gyarados is almost to the point where she a baddie, she's showing her panty. Because to this day, Gyarados is like top tier when it comes to the Generation 1 Pokemon. And especially with this game where it's so much like survival of the fittest, which is what I've been saying. Like, if you have a Gyarados, you had to grind with your Magikarp, regardless of what game you're in, ever. And then on top of that, you have to like go out of your way to make sure that Gyarados is also built. And like that's kind of like the first, like, you know, opening of the door for Gyarados for new trainers to learn how to build your Pokemon is by training up a Gyarados and by making it the moment. I'm contributing my $2 to the Chansey Squishmallow instead now. Ooh. What $2? Who's contributing to a Chansey Squishmallow? What? Anyway, Shiny Magmar made that Pokemon everything to me. She's so Birdo. D! It's true, it's true. When Gooey is on your side, something is amiss. Not too much, CMB. Gyarados just reminds me of that screaming mouth laser meme from the early 2010s. Okay. Also people perceive Gyarados as masculine quite a lot, but that's a diva to me. I kind of agree. I can see what you mean. Me pulling up with my Gyarados, but it still only knows a splash. Oh, what? Moment of silence for CMB's Gyarados. Eevee, easy. She a baddie, she's showing her panty. Eevee has a lot of potential. I get a really mixed opinion on Eevee. A lot of Pokemon I get mixed opinions on. Like if you go check my previous tier list as I posted them in the Discord, you'll see a lot of my Pokemon get mixed opinions from me. And I will shift some of these Pokemon around a lot, especially now that I've done like 3 tier lists. Like it's game by game, it's moment by moment, how I feel in the moment. Vaporeon is my favorite evolution. She get money her body tea, especially with the Vaporeon in Generation 1 game with Aurora Veil. That's tea for me. Now Vaporeon in this game, I don't know much about it. I don't think I've ever had a Vaporeon in this game, but it is what it is. We're gonna keep going. Jolteon, she a baddie, she's showing her panty. Flareon, she a baddie with her baddie friend. Flareon is it has something missing for me as far as like out of the first 3 evolutions, Flareon is giving the least, which is ironic because Flareon is supposed to be giving the most. So, you know what I mean? Like Flareon is supposed to be the pretty girl, but it's like Flareon is supposed to be the pretty girl, but it's like Flareon is the pretty girl, but it's like she's really the pretty girl out of her friend group, but it's because she's hanging out with a bunch of ugly girls who have really good hobbies and are very talented, so they just don't have the energy to do their makeup all the time. But all Flareon knows how to do is straighten her hair and do her makeup. And you knew that girl in high school, and you hung out with her, you might have keyed with her, but then you sit down with her and she doesn't really have anything to talk about. You start telling her about your interests, and she's kind of like, "Oh, you play Pokemon?" Like, please. Porygon, local. Porygon wants to be interesting. Porygon wants to be interesting. Porygon wants to be interesting. And I cannot, for the life of me, convince myself or try to convince you that it's anything more than what it is. A couple of blocks glued together, or put together with screws, girl. I don't care. I don't care. You can fight me on it until your face turns blue. Until you're blue in the face. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. You can't convince me that Porygon is interesting beyond its like a little basic old little design. You cannot. All right. Snorlax. She a baddie with her baddie friend. I've always liked Snorlax. Snorlax is like one of the first Pokemon that has like an overworld gimmick that's like really interesting, where it's like you see a Snorlax and it's sleeping somewhere and it's trying to give like what Snorlax is supposed to give, where it's like I'm always asleep, sleeping on a bridge, troll over the bridge kind of vibes. No thoughts. Snorlax is a big old sleepy bear. Don't really care. Cyndaquil. It's Cyndaquil. She a baddie with her baddie friend. My Cyndaquil is pretty strong, and honestly, it can stand on its own. It's a very small and somewhat weak Pokemon, but my Cyndaquil is one of those Pokemon that has really the power to stand on its own when it wants to, so I'm mostly proud of it. Quilava. She a baddie, she's showing her panty. No thoughts. Quilava is a very simple Pokemon. Out of the evolutionary line, I like Quilava the most because it has the most like convincing design for me. No thoughts beyond that. Typhlosion. Don't get mad at me. Hisuian Typhlosion ain't everything to me. I understand that it's supposed to be giving a concept. It's supposed to be giving a visual. It's supposed to be giving an illusion. For me, the illusion is boring. For me, the illusion is boring. For me, the illusion is boring. I would like to see so much more from Hisuian Typhlosion than what we do end up actually seeing. And like, I don't hold it against Hisuian Typhlosion, but it's not my tea. Crobat, easy. She get money, her body T. Crobat is the full package when it comes to a bat Pokemon. That's why they have not re-upped on a bat Pokemon except for in Generation 5 when they were trying to re-up on the whole Pokemon franchise in the first place. It is what it is. I don't really have any other thoughts on the topic. Crobat's a great Pokemon. Interesting movesets. One of my favorites in this generation and in others. I have a shiny Crobat in Brilliant Diamond. Pichu, love Pichu to death. Pichu is one of those girls for me. She a baddie, she's showing her panty. For me, Pichu gives a lot of personality. Pichu honestly gives me a cuter personality than Pikachu does. Now, Pichu is one of my favorite Pokemon, and you cannot take that away from me. Like, if Pichu did not exist, we would not have Pretty Pink Pomni to this day, and y'all would be sitting here bored on a Sunday afternoon. So, clock that T. Cleffa, interesting. I would say Cleffa is really giving less than Clefairy. I would say for the Cleffa, Clefairy, Clefable line, it's very interesting that because they almost did it correctly. And this is one of the very few times that I think the Pokemon did it correctly with the baby Pokemon going into the middle stage, going into the final evolution that ends with the stone evolution. Like Cleffa is cute, it's basic, it's simple. Clefairy is middle range, it is interesting, it is what it needs to be. Clefable, excuse me, is a building on that, but it's not really a focus on its design, it's a focus on its power. I agree with you, Rai. Porygon has no place in Industrial Revolution era Japan. Exactly. Speaking of egg, we have Togepi. Togepi really convinced me here with the personality. It's like some of the girls are getting ranked higher because of their power. Some of the girls are getting ranked higher because of their status within the the industry. And then it's like some of the girls are getting by their looks. And then there's Togepi. Togepi gets by because of its personality. And I think that that's valuable. I think it's valid. I think it's valuable. And you can't take it away from her. Togetic. Togetic for me is boring. I think Togetic is boring. I think it's boring. I think it could have went somewhere else. I think the design is boring. I think the Pokemon is weak. I think what I think. And you know what? In other games, I'm sure Togetic would be great. In this game, I don't think Togetic is great. Sudowoodo. Hate me for it if you want to. Sudowoodo is a local. You can it's that local energy that Sudowoodo is giving. You can't dispute it with me. Like there's a lot of things that y'all can say. You cannot dispute the Sudowoodo energy of it just being a local. Like what do you mean you're standing out here pretending to be something other than you are? Like live your rock type truth. Get out of my face, learn some stronger moves, do something independent, because it's built like Sudowoodo is like a cross between Geodude and Wobbuffet. And honestly, I don't care for that. Apom is a cutie. She a baddie with her baddie friend. No notes. I think Apom is supposed to be exactly where it's at. It's supposed to be very middle of the road. Honestly, Togetic is lucky that it got where it got it. Like, we're not even going to debate that. Cleffa is one of my favorite baby Pokemon. Oh. Interesting. In another timeline, Pichu never existed and we're all watching Pretty Pink Yellow Emolga. Not Pretty Pink Yellow Emolga. Anyway, looks around. Let's keep going. Yanma is giving she ain't everything. I like a little bit of Yanma, but Yanma is a nostalgic choice. Espeon, similarly to some of these other evolutions, Espeon is going in a Shia baddie, she's showing her panty. Because Espeon is a very relatively, especially for like these early on psychic types, Espeon's a pretty powerful Pokemon. The thing about Espeon though is like, Espeon's a powerful Pokemon, but also like, Espeon is kind of giving like something more than the other girls. It's like, now we're getting into the gimmick. Before it was just like, oh, well here we have like a Taper, or here we have whatever the fuck Abra and Kadabra are supposed to be. And then now we're getting into like more of like the actual concept, the actual mythology, the actual illusion. What I mean? Exactly. Crobat is literally friendship while also being sharp and powerful at the same time. Umbreon, she get money, her body T. Umbreon is also one of my favorite evolutions. It's the same with like these other Pokemon where it's like Umbreon is really like, now we're getting into like the interesting concepts. Like before, you know, Generation 1, it's like, here's a dog. You know, Generation 1 is like, here's a dog, here's a fox, here's a tapir, here's a rock, here's a jellyfish. Generation 2, it's like, oh, well, she has a little bit of poison to her. She has a little bit of pizzazz. She likes to sit in the darkness. You know what? She likes to lurk, waiting for the girls so that she can gag them a little bit. And yeah, we were getting that in Generation 1 with some of the Pokemon, but we weren't getting it enough to where like a lot of these Pokemon are really mainstays in my mind. In my mind. Murkrow, I would love to say Murkrow is a local, but Murkrow is not a local. Murkrow is giving something more than the locals do. Murkrow is definitely a she ain't everything for me though, because Murkrow is not a very powerful Pokemon. Not that every Pokemon needs to be powerful, but it's also not very convincing, and also it's lacking a lot in personality. For the goth girlies, you know, for the girlies that really like that darkness, that like black, that like the moodiness of some Pokemon, especially dark types, it's kind of like Murkrow is great, but Murkrow is not everything it needs to be. Murkrow is not everything that, you know, when I think of crows, I love crows. I love ravens. I love darkness. I love that like dark energy that some Pokemon can really give you. Murkrow is not giving that. And I'm not ashamed to say it. It saddens me that that's where Murkrow is. Misdreavus, easy. She a baddie. She's showing her panty. I love a Misdreavus. This is Misdreavus as far as the history of Pokemon. This is the first Pokemon upon introduction that is a solo ghost type Pokemon. It is singularly ghost. And I think that that's really interesting how Misdreavus took away from what Gengar and Ghastly were supposed to do. Because they had to give Gengar and Ghastly that like you know, I think they were trying to make a political statement with that shit a little bit, similar to how they've been making political statements with some of these like Galar Pokemon when it comes to like pollution and all that stuff. Like, what do you mean? Gligar, love me a little bit of a pink scorpion. I'm a pink Scorpio. I love a pink scorpion. Angel of darkness. I do think I agree with you, Rye. Murkrow is giving a little bit of filler. Now, hear me out. Steelix, I would honestly, if we were talking based purely on power, okay, well, I'm ranking these Pokemon based on power. I'm ranking these Pokemon based on concept. I'm ranking these Pokemon based on a lot of things. Steelix is giving a lot of things for me. I honestly like Steelix. You know what? And even upon introduction, Steelix is being.
What's that in my cup? That's that potion.
Period.
Rubbing honey's on my skin like it's.
Thank you for the hydrate. Steelix is giving something that the other girls are not giving when it comes to its steel type. You know, Steelix is owned by Jasmine originally, and like Steelix is kind of like an elusive Pokemon. Hi, Pixie. And like the thing about Misdreavus, because you actually bring up a good point, Andalise, Misdreavus is that girl. Like until we get to Generation 3 where we have Banette, Misdreavus is that girl. And then even after that, Misdreavus is still that girl because we don't really get a lot of ghost type Pokemon until by the time we're in like Generation 4 or 5, where we at that point we get like a lot of Pokemon, and like Misdreavus kind of falls to the wayside, especially because Mismagius is kind of like a disappointment when it comes to the power of the Pokemon itself. I really would like to see something different, but honestly, like, you know, I really, at the time, Misdreavus was that girl, and you can't take that away from her. Misdreavus does something really interesting, especially for the alternative girly pop Pokemon, which I would actually consider some of the more popular girly pop Pokemon to be more alternative in the first place. But we'll get there when we get there. Isui and Quillfish, ugh. She ain't everything. She's not a local. She's giving a little bit of a concept, and the concept is giving a little bit better than what Quillfish normally gives, but she's not everything to me. Not at all. Not by any standard. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. Like, Scizor, higher than Scyther, not very high on the list. Boring. I think Scizor is interesting, but it's kind of like at this point in this point, like if it's not giving me something new, I don't care. I think Scizor would have been a great Pokemon to get a new form in this generation, or even in Generation 8, or even in Generation 9. I think Scizor would have been a great Pokemon to give a new form to, and I'm sad that they still haven't done that because Scizor just it falls flat to me when it comes to the concept, you know. We're just not like now. I feel like we're in the trenches with some of these like Generation 2 Pokemon because they're kind of all over the place and we're really used to these Pokemon. So we're just gonna power it through. Heracross, Shiabati with her baddie friend, very similar to Scizor. Would like to see something new. Kind of boring, not a local, not a local. Sneasel, Shiabati, she's showing her panty. Hisuian Sneasel, she get money her body tea. I didn't think it's interesting. I like the concept. I like the coloration. It's giving more of like a, you know how in some like little in like some children's media, especially like these like superhero tropes, like some of the characters, it's like she falls in a pit of acid or like she gets hit by a special kind of ray and suddenly she turns evil. That's what Hisuian Sneasel is giving, and then she keeps that energy going, and I like to see that from her, to be honest. Teddy Ursa, easy. She about she's showing her panty. Ursa Ring, honestly, Ursa Ring ain't everything. I've always felt that Ursa Ring was lacking. Swinub, love Swinub. Swinub could be higher, but Swinub is a she with her baddie friend. Swinub is not a great Pokemon to have on its own. Similarly to Teddy Ursa and Ursa Ring, Piloswine is boring to me. Like these are very simple concepts. I get it, but it's like do something besides the Moon Bear for me with Ursa Ring. Or if you're going to do the Moon Bear, take it to the same level that you took with Umbreon. Because these Pokemon being released in the same generation and Umbreon eating Ursa Ring up like that tells me everything that I need to know about the Pokemon franchise. Because sometimes they're just fucking lazy. Anyway, Remoraid. Remoraid's not a local. Remoraid's similar to Swinub. I like to see it. I would like to see more. Octillery, Jump Scare. Octillery is not everything. Honestly, Octillery is a similar level to Remoraid. It's like, it's not really like great to me. It's not bad. It's just not great. Mantine. And everything. Next. Porygon 2. Actually, you know what? I really like Porygon 2. Porygon 2 is a Shiabati with her baddie friend. I wouldn't carry a Porygon 2 and be like, this is my partner Pokemon, Porygon 2. But I like to see a Porygon 2 every now and then. I think the shiny is interesting. I think, even though I hate a trade evolution, I still think Porygon 2 is giving something different to the girls than what the other Porygons were giving. Sandler. He a baddie with her baddie friend. No notes. I think Sandler is interesting. Sandler is kind of similar to Psyduck, where it should have gotten a psychic typing. Like, why give it a psychic concept and then not give it a psychic typing? Elekid. Elekid ain't everything. Elekid ain't everything. Elekid is similar to Cleffa. Same vibe with Cleffa, Clefairy, and Clefable, where it's like Elekid and then into Electabuzz. It's like Electabuzz is really giving more concept than Elekid is. I like the tiger motif that Electabuzz is giving. Elekid is kind of like, I could have done without the whole elementary school bully vibe from Elekid. Magby, on the other hand, Magby, I would honestly even put Magby up here with Shiabati, she's showing her panty. Magby has potential, in my opinion, to even sit at a similar level to a lot of these starter Pokemon, and I wish that they would have done something with that. I don't. And obviously, like Magby, Magmar, it's like they're never going to be that girl. That's why they introduced Pokemon like Magmar and Electabuzz into the fold in the first place. Is so in those early games where you don't really have access to a lot of Pokemon that are similar to the starter Pokemon, you still have access to a fire type. You still have access to an electric type. You still have access to a water type. And Magmar and Magby, the line, it really makes sense when you think about like how we've come since then. You know, we would not have Simisear, Simisage, and Simipour was it not for the Magmar, Electabuzz, you know, the Jinx of the world. Not to say that those Pokemon pave the way for a lot of these other Pokemon that are supposed to sit secondary to these other starter Pokemon dupes, but you know. Mantine, the reason why I put Mantine where Mantine goes is because Mantine is boring. Okay. Blissey goes higher than Chansey for sure. If she a baddie, she's showing her panty. I like Blissey. Blissey could give us more. Blissey could give us less. I like Blissey where Blissey is at. Period. They really should have given Chansey something in Generation 1, and the reason they probably didn't is because they were not available to add more space to the game like that. So we are going to have to scroll down since the unknowns are taking up so much space. Let's just do unknown. I'll do the J unknown since my name starts with J. Local. There you go. Merry Christmas. Wurmple. Wurmple. She a baddie with her baddie friend. Wurmple's a great Pokemon on its own. Silcoon. She a baddie with her baddie friend. Beautifly. She a baddie. She's showing her panty. Love the line. Love the concept. Love the early bugs. You know, you just don't use them the way that you could. You just don't use them the way that you want to because they're not that useful. I think in this game that it's the same vibe. Like, you want to use a bug type in a lot of these games, and then you end up getting put up against a fire type or an electric type, and it's like Beautifly is gone suddenly, and it's like, why did I even bring this to the club? To the function? Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to, like, do something else. Cascoon. I think Cascoon is giving more than Silcoon because Silcoon is giving very much like a basic, like, Cocoon Pokemon. Cascoon is giving like, oh, well, she's a little bit grungy. She's a little bit mean. She's a little bit ready for action differently than Silcoon is. I appreciate that from Cascoon. Personally. Dustox, same vibe as Beautifly. Love the concept. Love the coloration. She's for the goth girlies. She's for the emo girlies. She's for the girls who are a little bit more alternative and a little bit more edgy. Honestly, I would even say that Dustox is a better typing than Beautifly, which makes it more useful, but Beautifly gets extra points for being prettier. Ralts. Love Ralts. Love Ralts. You cannot do wrong with the Ralts. If you're making a team for me and you put a Ralts on there, shiny or not, perfect. No notes. Ralts did really good. The only reason why Ralts is not like S tier is because Ralts is weak. Curlia is giving concepts, but Curlia is a little bit like, when you consider what happens with the Curlia line, I wouldn't consider Curlia. Curlia is great. Curlia is short-lived. You know what I mean? Like, you get a Ralts, you get it to level 20, it evolves into Curlia. You get Curlia to level 30, it evolves into Gardevoir. And then from level 30 to 100, it's Gardevoir for the rest of its life. We could have had a Curlia, you know, moment at maybe level 40. It would have been more interesting. Level 50, maybe I would like Curlia more. If it had its own, like, little gimmick beyond its concept, maybe I would like it a little bit more. But we're not there. Gardevoir, easy. She get money, her body tea. Now, this is what I was talking about when I was saying that the alternative girly pops, like, you're right, Rye, but the girls who liked Dustox, the girls who liked Jessie from the anime in particular are also the alternative girly pops in the first place. And, like, that's the thing. Gardevoir, no, this is what I was saying about Misdreavus, is that Misdreavus opens the door for Gardevoir differently than what you would say something like Jigglypuff does, where, like, yes, some of these early on girly pops like Jigglypuff and Ninetales and even Cleffa and Clefairy and Clefable are opening the door for the girly pops to come through. Gardevoir would not be the girly pop that Gardevoir is if we did not have the precursor to it, like Misdreavus, who really put down the foundation of the alternative, emo, spiritual, you know, ghost-oriented, amorphous type group you know, special effects, like sci-fi watching girly pops. Like Gardevoir would not be that girl if we did not have that. And that's my thing. Love Gardevoir, no notes beyond that. Strong Pokemon, beautiful gowns, great gowns. Like, you can't take anything away from her. You can only contribute to her with the Mega Evolution, which should be universal. Nose Pass. She baddie with her buddy friend. I'm bored. Roselia. She a baddie, she's showing her panty. Easy. Pretty girl. Pretty girl. Smart girl. Pretty girl. Easy typing. Simple. Roselia is kind of giving us what we were missing out on without Weepin' Bell and, you know, Bulbasaur in Generation 3. Happy to see her around. Barboach, local. Don't think about her. She's cute or whatever, but she's a local. And the only reason that I would ever get a Barboach is so that I can make it into Wishcash, who is a she's a baddie with her buddy friend. Wishcash is a great Pokemon to add to your team when you need something strong that can go against like a fire type. No issues. You know what I mean? When you need something, when you need a girl who's going to be reliable to go against the fire type or an electric type, you pull out a Wishcash, you don't got no problems. Wishcash would even be great against like a steel type, you know, with that secondary ground typing. It's like she's really doing what she needs to do. You know, I think Wishcash, and I said this before, I think Wishcash could be very similar to Meowth if they wanted it to be, because there's like thousands of types of catfish around the world, and then like it only has one form. It should be getting a new form every generation, similar to how Meowth is getting a new form every generation now. Duskull, be a baddie with her baddie friend, no thoughts. What is this thing called? Dusclops. Similar energy. I don't understand why these things are so fucking aggressive. I actually do understand why they're aggressive. I just don't appreciate it. Because first of all, you're getting up over here with your fucking baggy pants and you're chasing after me like I'm some bitch on the street. I hate you. Get the fuck away from me, you ugly hoe. That's what I really think. I just don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with it. And I really love that evolutionary line. But like, why do I have to power through with you to get to the end goal, which is the only Pokemon out of the legendary evolutionary line that I genuinely like? And the whole time, you're this ugly bitch and you're trying to clock me? You can't read it all. Like, and you're not gonna read it all. Rye, did you actually get your Shiny Hunt Minior? I saw that you did that like an hour ago, and I'm sorry if you didn't get it. Chimecho is giving concept. She a baddie, she's showing her panties. Shout out to Belly. It was green. Merry Christmas. Snowrunt, she a baddie with her baddie friend. She don't stand on her own. Glalie, she ain't everything. No thoughts. On Glalie, no thoughts. Soccer ball, no thoughts. Hockey mask, no thoughts. Steel, she a baddie, she's showing her panty. This bitch is cute. She did a lot on her own before she even evolved. I wish that she went in a better direction. Celio, same vibe. I love to see it. It's giving grandpa energy. It's giving a really cute uncle energy. It's giving cottagecore. It's giving Animal Crossing. It's giving happy to be here. It's giving, you know, I brought some good food for the potluck and it's a chilled macaroni salad. Not disgusting. Plenty of vegetable. Plenty of dressing. Tastes great. You know, Celio is doing what it needs to do. Walrein, step down. I would have loved to see more from Walrein, but even in the game, they make it kind of elusive. Although it is aggressive, don't get me wrong, it's still elusive. Turtwig. Love Turtwig. Shout out to Wig. Turtwig, she a baddie, she's showing her panty. Great addition to the team, especially in a situation where Turtwig is not one of your starters. Grotto, a step down. Torterra, a step up. Torterra is giving concept. I said this when I was doing the starter Pokemon tier list. Torterra is a step up from the Turtwig line. I really love to see it from Torterra. I love to see a Torterra regardless, and I'm glad that they contributed to the game in some kind of way. Let me know if you actually put in a redeem and we don't see it. Please let me know. Please. Please let me know. Chimchar, same vibe as Turtwig. I love Chimchar. This bitch is cute. Same vibe as Feel. This bitch is cute. She's doing what she needs to do. Love to see her. Glad to see her. Happy that she's around. Could it be different? Yeah, it could be different. Is it different than what it is? No. Monferno, step down. Infernate, step to the side. Don't really care. Piplup, easy. Piplup is one of my favorite starters. She get money, her body T, no thoughts. Primplup, a step down. Empoleon, a step to the side. Don't mind Empoleon. I think Empoleon has gotten lower marks from me in the past. I don't really have any thoughts, especially because Empoleon is such a strong Pokemon and it's a unique typing. Like, can't really take a lot away from Empoleon. And in this circumstance, I think Empoleon can be very powerful. Starly. Honestly, Starly's kind of a local here. Why do we have to catch so many Starlies? Why are Starly everywhere? Like, I understand why Starly is everywhere when it comes to the concept of the game. Tired of seeing her. She's cute. She's just not my tea. You know what I mean? Staravia. Love to see a Staravia. She a baddie with her baddie friend. Staraptor. High marks. Not the best. High marks. She's giving concept. Opening the doors for the emo girlies in ways that we don't expect, especially during this era. Bidoof, local. Bibarel, local. I would say Bibarel is she ain't everything. Don't get me started, because I will complain about Bibarel for a long time. I think Bibarel can be a great Pokemon if you need a Pokemon like that on your team. I think that Bibarel can be a powerful Pokemon if you get it to be powerful. But based on just the general vibe, Bibarel kind of started a trend with these Pokemon. These early on normal type Pokemon where it's like, you're not giving enough to be on my team forever. And like, this is the first time that we see that in any of the generations. And like, it just goes downhill from there, because after we get Bibarel, we get Patrat. And I know we're not ranking these Pokemon solely on their reputation or their influence on the generation, but simply even in the game, Bibarel is not a great choice because it's not really a strong Pokemon, and there are a lot of normal type Pokemon and a lot of normal type moves in the game. It's just not very useful. Kricketot. I think Kricketot is cute as fuck. She a baddie with her baddie friend. If I didn't think Kricketot was cute, Kricketot would be a local. Kricketune, same vibe for me. I know Kricketune is a lot of people's favorite. I would have put it higher. It's not my favorite. I don't love to see it. I don't like the concept. I think I like the concept. I think that the concept could have been more developed, more pronounced in some capacity. You know, like, what do you mean it's just a violin beetle? Anyway, Shinx, y'all know I like me some Shinx. Y'all know I like me some Luxio, and y'all know how I feel about Luxray. Obsessed with this generationary line. Obsessed with this evolutionary line to honestly a little bit of my own detriment. Like, let me scoot down the page a little bit, bitch. Anyway, Badu, similar to Cleffa, they did what they had to do with her. Roserade, easy, top tier, no questions asked. She's giving concept, she's giving visual, she's giving illusion, she's giving everything we need to see. Very much colorful, very much powerful. It's giving, you know, and like, this is where we start to see, like in Generation 4, we start to see a lot of Pokemon with a very pronounced concept, with a very pronounced, like, you know, individualistic concept based on something very specific in human culture, because Roserade is supposed to be kind of like a Zorro like superhero kind of figure, where it's like she pulls up very much tuxedo mask, and you see that in the anime. I like to see that, especially like because a lot of characters like that really started to come around in this time period of history, like in the Industrial Revolution, like after people stopped living in such a village lifestyle and started moving into like cities and stuff like that. We started to get more folklore, and I think it's interesting to see a Rosary type figure appear here. You know what I mean? Hi, Nerf. Oh, are cute as fuck. Oh, thank you. Hockey mask. I ate him up. I ate him up. You know I ate Glalie up. That was a minute ago, but I ate Glalie up. I agree with you, Rye. I have also heard too many debates over Bavero this year. No shade. Look, I have no excuse. I have failed you. Ooh, stay out of that. Rainy Dose, interesting. I didn't realize there were so many freaking Pokemon in this generation. I thought this was gonna be a shorter stream. Help. Cranidos, be a baddie with her baddie friend, put it on the team, keep it there, and then it evolves. I like Rampardos. Rampardos is interesting. I think that the more interesting one out of the fossil types from Generation 4 would be Shieldon. I think Bastiodon could honestly go up here because it's giving concept and it's giving concept, it's giving illusion, it's giving what we need to see from a fossil Pokemon. But I'm gonna keep it right here with Shieldon and keep it cute. Like there's no, it's not one of my favorites. It's not really giving me a lot, but it's giving me enough to be up here. You know what I mean? Burmy, grass type Burmy specifically is a local. Or like the leafy Burmy specifically is a local. I don't know why they didn't put Sandy Burmy on here. Where is she? I don't see Sandy Burmy at all. Maybe we don't see Burmy with that form. I thought we did. In PLA, I don't know. I'm not asking any more questions than what I need to know. I try my best to remember. And that's what I'm saying. Sandy Wormadam is here. Now, this little pink Burmy moment, cute as fuck. Cute as fuck. I don't care. If I were to put Sandy Wormadam anywhere, I mean Sandy Burmy anywhere, it would probably be She a Baddie with her baddie friend. I don't really care about Burmy a lot. I do like Wormadam. I think it's a visual moment. Grassy Wormadam, She a Baddie with her baddie friend. She ain't everything with the Sandy Cloak Wormadam. Don't really care. And the pink Wormadam, which is the one that I like the most, obviously. She a Baddie, she's showing her panty, period. Mothim, love a Mothim, you know, and this is really where Mothim kind of shines in this generation, if you ask me. Love to see it. Love to hear from him. Love one on the team. I think I have a Mothim named Caramel on BDSP. Not really sure. Obsessed with that Pokemon low-key. Especially, like, I really like a evolutionary line that has a gendered evolution, which is kind of crazy because I really don't believe in a gender binary, but I love to see it in Pokemon. I like when they play with it because you do see that in nature. It's called sexual dimorphism, meaning that like Pokemon or in real life, animals have different secondary sexual characteristics that showcase a different niche in the environment than than the other sex. And I think it's interesting because like when you see like a bagworms like Burmy and Wormadam, and then the moths that are associated with those animals in real life, it is like that, where the females normally do sit in the bag and then the males kind of fly away. I think it's really fucking interesting, and I'm glad that like I think it's fun when Pokemon gets into the concepts like that, and they really put the science to it like that. Combi, love to see Combi. If I didn't like Combi, Combi would be a local. Combi's mother, Vespiquen, love the concept. Love the concept. Love the name, love the concept, love the visual, love the idea of a Vespiquen. Vespiquen is a very strong Pokemon. I think it would be, I don't think that I ever interacted with a wild Vespiquen in PLA, but I really like to see a Vespiquen. And beyond that, I also really like to use a Vespiquen when I can. And I feel like it would be a difficult Pokemon to catch. I know it was difficult to catch in Scarlet and Violet until you got stronger as a trainer. Pachirisu, She Baddie, her baddie friend, or wait, what is this? She Baddie, she's showing her panty. Pachirisu is cute. Pachirisu can't stand on its own. Pachirisu is not giving a lot of concept. Pachirisu is cute. fuck. Weasel, I like Weasels. I like Weasel. I like Weasel. Actually, I would put Weasel up here. Floatzel a little bit lower. Why are you, and it's similar to some of these other aggressive ass Pokemon in PLA. Why are you trying to fight me? Why are you actually trying to fight me? Like, what do we need to deconstruct in your mindset for you to leave me the fuck alone when I'm walking past you? Like, honestly. Ruby, she's showing her panty. And that's because I think that closed form, and why did they put closed form and open form Cherim like separately? I have no clue. Open form Cherim, super cute. Closed form Cherim, I see what they did with it. I wish that this was kind of like a tiered evolution as opposed to a form change, because it's annoying to only see this form when you're in battle. Shellos, he ain't everything. Gastrodon, Pink Gastrodon specifically. I would even say Pink Gastrodon specifically is she's a baddie, which she's showing her panty. I know that there are some people that have strong opinions about Gastrodon. I don't have a strong opinion about Gastrodon. I think the blue Gastrodon and the blue Shellos are similar level to the pink Shellos. The one that stands out to me is the pink Gastrodon. I don't know why. Ambipom. Ambipom is a great Pokemon. Honestly, I really fucking love Ambipom. You get money, her body tea. I like the concept. I like the vibes. I like the energy. It is what it needs to be. I would never call Shellos a local. This is as low as I would ever put Shellos. But in this context, and honestly, in a lot of contexts, I think Shellos now in the 3D world of Pokemon is a little bit weaker than it would have been when we first got introduced to Shellos in the first place. Drifloon. I like Drifloon. Driflim. Why are you trying to kill me? Baniri. Love Baniri. Lopunny. Love Lopunny. Lopunny is like, and so we talk about these feminine Pokemon and the girly pop Pokemon. Lopunny is like, this is where like the girly pops, like Clefairy and Jigglypuff, they opened the door for a girl like Lopunny to walk through. And they did crawl so that Lopunny could run through and kick ass. I love Lopunny. Lopunny has a very wide move pool. Lopunny can be a very powerful Pokemon, not only as a physical attacker, but also as a special attacker, depending on what you do with it. I think Lopunny should have been the Bidoof and Bibarel of the generation, and they didn't do it because they were scared. But even if we had seen a branched evolution from Baniri, I think that it would have been interesting to see that as opposed to Bibarel. But I also think that Bidoof and Bibarel were put in the game and given the abilities that they were given as far as like what moves they can learn stuff. So that they were used for this purpose. It's kind of like we sacrificed Bidoof so that Baniri could be great, and I appreciate that. Miss Magius. Miss Magius is like similar line. I really would love to put Miss Magius up here. Miss Magius doesn't go up here. Not to me. Unfortunately, not to me. Honchkrow, boring. I like Honchkrow. I think it's boring. I think they could have taken it into a different direction. I like that they tried to build on the Murkrow line. I would never use a Honchkrow. I like the shiny. I'm just bored. Glameow. Love it. No, this is Glameow. And whatever the hell this one is called. Big Chungus Mother. Same vibe. She a baddie, she's showing her panty. Love to see it. Love the concept. These are strong Pokemon, especially for normal type Pokemon. These are strong Pokemon, giving the similar energy to Ambipom and Apom, where it's like a good concept, a good visual, a good moment, a good energy, very consistent with this generational line. Dingling, meh. She a baddie with her baddie friend. Shout out to Belly. Skunky, and everything. Skunk Tank. She a baddie, she's showing her panty. Love a skunk tank. I also love how it learns flamethrower upon evolution. I think that that's a really powerful moment. Bronzor, local. Bronzong, ain't everything. Dot, 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 looks around. I would say that Bonsly, whatever you call it, she a baddie, we're her baddie friend. I would never carry one around with me. I wouldn't call it my partner, and I wouldn't be super happy if I saw one in the wild and I had to catch it, you know, to finish the game. But I think it's cute. I like the idea of a Bonsly. I like the tiny form of a Bonsly. Like, it could be worse. That's my point. It could be worse. Mime Jr. Love a Mime Jr. Love, love, love a Mime Jr. Love a Mime Jr. No thoughts. Happini. Happini goes up here with She Get Money Her Body T. Probably the best out of the evolutionary line, if you ask me. It is what it is. Chatot. I like Chatot. Honestly, I think that Chatot is a fun Pokemon, and based on concept alone, it goes up here. I wouldn't carry a Chatot around with me. I also probably wouldn't be super excited to catch a Chatot, and if it was difficult to get a Chatot, I would be pissed off and I would rank it lower because and also it's not really a great Pokemon overall, if you ask. That's just my opinion. Spiritomb, she a baddie with her baddie friend. Honestly, Spiritomb is very much a she ain't everything to me, but they really do like try to develop a concept with Spiritomb that makes it interesting to have. Gibble, love Gibble. Gibble, she a baddie with her baddie friend. Gabite. Gabite has a lot of local energy to me, so we're not going to put her very high. Gabite is the local hater, and you can't be mad that Gabite is the local hater because it's giving very much like Gabite is the girl who has a lot of opinions on what other people are doing, but she's not doing very much herself. And for that, she gets low marks from me. Garchomp, I would love to put Garchomp at she's the baddie, she's showing her panty. I like the concept that Garchomp is giving. Garchomp opened the door for some of the girls that we see later on, like Sandile and Sandaconda. Garchomp opened the door for the girls like Sandile and Sandaconda. Yeah, exactly that, because Sandile is another line. Like Sandile all the way into Crocorock or Crocodile or whatever the hell the last one is. Garchomp did open the door for that girl, and it also opened the door for Sandaconda a little bit to be as strong as it is. Love to see it. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. Even in this generation, they put it here because it's festive and it makes sense to put in a Generation 4 moment, not because it's actually a great Pokemon, even though it is a good Pokemon. Munchlax. I was actually, when Munchlax was released, I actually really liked Munchlax, so I'm going to put her, she's showing her. It develops onto the concept of Snorlax in a way that I really appreciate. Riolu, same vibe with Munchlax. Really like to see it. Could be better, could be worse. Not mad about it. Lucario. Lucario is kind of like middle of the road for me. Similar vibe to Garchomp, where it's like it's a great Pokemon or whatever, but I'm tired of seeing Lucario. I think it's overrated. Hippopotas. Boring. Hippowdon. A little less boring. Powerful. Great gowns. Beautiful gowns. Skorupi. Boring. Drapion. A little less boring. Great gowns. Beautiful gowns. Powerful Pokemon. Croagunk. Interesting typing. She did what she needed to do. Happy to see her. Happy to have her around. Happy to have her on a team. Toxicroak. Daddy, she's showing her panties. She's doing what she got to do. It's giving concept. It's giving illusion. It's giving illusion. It's giving great gowns, beautiful gowns. It's doing a lot for me. These are the kinds of Pokemon, like a Toxicroak. You know, I complain about a lot of Pokemon being aggressive in this game because a lot of Pokemon are aggressive. Honestly, some of them are needlessly aggressive, if you ask me. Toxicroak is one of those Pokemon that is not needlessly aggressive. It's like purposefully aggressive. If you see a Toxicroak chasing you, you should be running. It's supposed to be scary looking. It's supposed to be intimidating. It's supposed to be what it is. I like to see it. Carnivine, on board. Carnivine is not a local. Carnivine could be a local. She ain't everything to me, but she's a baddie with her baddie friend, because I think the Carnivine can be interesting to have on a team. If somebody brought a Carnivine to me, or if they put it on a conceptual team, I would be like, oh, interesting take, because I like to see a Carnivine. Finneon. Finneon's a cute girl. Cute girl. Her mother, it's a sidestep for me. You know, it's so... You look so wise talking about this with your eyes closed. Anyway, no, it's true. It's true. Okay. Anyway, Mantike. I like Mantike better than I like Mantime. She a baddie. She's showing her panty. Mantike is giving concept that Mantine is not giving, and I love that for Mantike. Snover, boring. Obama Snow, she a baddie. She's showing her panty. Similar to Hippowdon and Drapion. Great gowns, beautiful gowns, powerful Pokemon. Specific typing, love to see it. Love what it did for the concept of the Pokemon franchise. No thoughts beyond that. Weavile, boring. Magnezone, interesting concept, love to see it. Beautiful gowns, powerful Pokemon, looks around. Licky, same vibe. Rhyperior, boring. Interesting. Like to see what she did for the evolutionary line, especially so many years later. Bored. I'm bored. Powerful Pokemon. We have a lot of powerful Pokemon running around now. At this point, and that's the thing about the Sinnoh region, at this point, we have a lot of powerful Pokemon. We have a lot of third evolutionary line, powerful Pokemon running around that we have to fight and run away from. It's a lot. It's a lot for me. Tangrowth, love to see her. Honestly, I would even put Tangrowth up here. Love to see her. Love her hairstyle. Beautiful gowns, great gowns, powerful Pokemon. Electivire, where did I put Electivire? Electivire, love the concept, love the vibes. You know, Electivire is kind of giving like a mothering energy that I like to see from Electivire. It is what it is with Electivire. Not really any strong feelings, but it is what it is. Magmortar, great gowns, beautiful gowns. Love to see a Magmortar. Strong Pokemon. I like these three. Out of all these third level, third energy, third whatever, third evolutionary line, strong, powerful Pokemon. You can tell I'm getting a little bit fatigued here, because there's a lot of Pokemon on this list. I thought this was going to be a cute little moment. Girl, I'm tired. Magmortar is cute. Magmortar is doing what it got to do. Love to see a Magmortar. Happy to have her on the team. Togekiss, boring. Yanmega, concept. Even if Yanmega is not really my favorite concept, especially not with all these Generation 4, you know, where it's like they did a revamp on so many other Pokemon. Thank you for the bits. I will not put Manaphy at number 1 simply because of the bits, but I will put Manaphy at number 1 because I like Manaphy. It's actually my favorite one. Also, it's good to see you, David. Thank you so much for the bits. Leafeon, boring. Glaceon, she's doing something. Beautiful gowns, beautiful Pokemon, love to see it. Gliscor, another good one. And honestly, because Gliscor is up here, Yanmega honestly gets put down a tier. And honestly, if you really ask me, Licky, boring. Mamoswine, interesting concept. Would have liked to see something a little bit more pronounced with the sign, but it's interesting. Porygon Z, love to see a Porygon Z. Love it most out of all the evolutionary line. Think it's cute, think it's quirky. I would love to have one on the team in the game when I play through it. Catch me on Fridays when I'm playing this game and watch me catch a Porygon Z. Period. Gallade, one of my favorite Pokemon, no questions about it. Powerful Pokemon, beautiful gowns. I know he's a little hippie for some of the girls. I love to see the design. I love an interesting silhouette. I love a Pokemon that can Mega Evolve. Nosepass, Probopass. Probopass is giving something interesting that Nosepass wasn't giving. I said Nosepass was boring. I still think Nosepass is boring. Probopass is not as boring. Dusknoir, love Dusknoir, favorite out of the evolutionary line, did a lot for the girls. Frostlass, favorite out of the evolutionary line, did a lot for the girls. Rotom. Could be better, could be worse, middle of the road. I'm not going to do all the Rotom forms because honestly, who cares? Fire type Rotom, I'm actually going to do it just because we're going to do like a lightning round of fire type of all the Rotom forms. Fire type Rotom, she ain't everything. Water type Rotom, she ain't everything. Ice type Rotom, she's all right. Electric type Rotom, why are we doing this? No, this is air type, flying type. Hold on. With the okay, and this is something interesting. Actually, you bring up an interesting topic that I would love to discuss just briefly, Gooey. It is actually kind of difficult with the English diction to pronounce the French version of Dusk Noir. Where so like to say Dusk Noir, you have to go out of your way. You have to flip almost the N in your mouth and push yourself up to say noir. You know, even though like that's not actually like French diction, but like so to say Dusk Noir, it's like that's easier because it kind of flips down as opposed to it up in your palate. That's what I meant. That's what I'm saying. Grass type, boring. Honestly, a lot of these Rotoms, they were cute when they came out. I love the concept, but I'm tired. Especially because like they really didn't let you have it easy then. Like you had to go and get the little event key to make it like a moment in the game because they can't update the games in the original DS. Like that pissed me off. Yuxi, she a baddie with her baddie friend. Not really, not inspiring. Miss Brit, same, you know, she a baddie, she's showing her panties. She's the cute girl out of the three. Azelf, love Azelf, but Azelf doesn't really stand alone very strongly. Azelf is my favorite Pokemon out of the trio, but Azelf is also there. The reason why my eyes are actually probably closed is because I'm genuinely tired. So like my eyes are probably a little dark right now. It's probably what the camera's picking up on. Also, it's like for some my lamp is not very bright in my room. I don't really know what's going on, honestly. Dialga, I like Dialga more than I like Palkia. Baddie, she's showing her panty. This form of Dialga, honestly, bored. Palkia, love Palkia, glad to see Palkia. Same energy for me. This form, visually interesting, still kind of bored. Heatran is probably one of the very few legendary Pokemon that's going to be a local for me. Regigigas, love to see her, love to have her around. She's the baddie, she's showing her panty. Giratina, she's not only a baddie, she's showing her panty, her body is T, but it's not that form that her body is T. This is her body T. Cresselia, easy, her body T. Fione, however you want to pronounce it. Be a baddie with her baddie friend. Can't stand alone in a battle, don't want to see it. Manaphy, S tier. No questions asked. Darkrai, S tier. No questions asked. Shaman, interesting to see, love the concept, love the girls. Shaman extra form, interesting to see, love the concept, love the girls. Arceus, based on its presentation alone and also its power, its design, it's very interesting. I love a little bit of a legendary Pokemon that adds not only to the mythos of the generation but also the mythos of the games, of the franchise, of the vibes. Arceus is the reason for this season. She's just not giving me everything that she needs to be she get money her body T. Although Arceus literally is she get money her body T. She's not she get money her body T in my opinion. Oshawott is my favorite starter Pokemon. It honestly kind of switches between Oshawott and Piplup. I love them both. Duwat, boring. This Hisuian Samurott, boring. Lilligant, no, this is Petalil. She a baddie with her baddie friend. She can't stand on her own. Hisuian Lilligant, baddie. She get money, her body's T. Love the concept. We only have a few more. Basculin, boring. I mean, like, and honestly, that's like my honest truth is that I'm bored about a lot of these Pokemon. Like, they're cute or whatever, but we don't need to see all of these Pokemon all the time, everywhere. I know they're trying to make like a very interesting ecological experience when you're walking out in nature, when you're walking the children in nature in Hisui. Zorua, Honestly, Zora, if she get money her body tea. I love to see it. Zoroark, she's kind of scary. She did a lot for the emo girlies for me. Both forms of Zoroark did a lot for the emo girlies for me. For me. And that's my opinion. True, it's true. Rufflet. I love a Rufflet. Braviary. I love the concept. I also love Braviary. I've always liked Braviary. I love Birds of Prey. I love powerful Pokemon. Braviary as both. Tornadus. Out of the trio, Tornadus is the least interesting. I don't know why they put two forms of the Tornadus. Like, I don't know what they did with these forms. Like, because, like, there's a Therian form of Tornadus that's put on here twice. I don't know what the difference is. Maybe one of them is shiny. I think the Therian forms are more interesting than the standard forms of this trio. I think that Thundurus is very interesting compared to Tornadus. I think the Therian form is about the same vibe for it, because really, you don't really even get to understand the difference between the two of them unless you actually like go out of your way to try to understand it. I think Landorus is also very interesting, especially because of its unique typing. I think that the Therian form for Landorus kind of puts it back down to a weird vibe, because like I don't really like the Therian forms that much, but you know, out of all three of them, the most interesting one to me, because of its curiosity factor, is probably the Thundurus in the first place. Bergmite is a cute girl, beautiful gowns, no thoughts. Avalugg. Love the concept, love to see it. Strong and powerful Pokemon, hard to battle, hard to deal with, probably hard to fucking catch. I don't really like it that much. It's cute, but it's not everything. Sliggoo. I like the vibe that Sliggoo gives. I don't really like its evolutions in this generation. This is Goomy. This is Sliggoo. Don't love Sliggoo. I do like a Goodra. Goodra is powerful. Goodra is very unique. Goodra is what it needs to be. I think they could have done something different with Sliggoo. I honestly think that Sliggoo could have been... They didn't need to give Sliggoo a second kind of, what is it called? Form? Regional form? I didn't care for that, personally. Sylveon, I am an LGBT person. Sylveon, she get money, her body tea. Rowlet. She a baddie, she showing her panty. Dartrix, she a baddie, she showing her panty. Hisuian Decidueye. She a baddie with her baddie friend. When I had a Hisuian Decidueye on my last playthrough of PLA, because I played it one time by myself just to get acquainted with the game, and then I decided that I was gonna play it again for y'all with y'all on Fridays. I think Hisuian Decidueye is a great Pokemon, but honestly, it is not. It like having it on your team, you cannot have it as your ace. So that's kind of disappointing to me. Weirdeer. Love a Weirdeer. Love the concept. Beautiful gown. Powerful Pokemon. Let's move on. Cleavor. Boring. Sneasler. Love a Sneasler. Powerful Pokemon. Love the design. Love the vibes. This is Enamorous. Easy. S tier. S tier. A second Therian form of Enamorous. S tier. They really added something good to the girls. They did this for the girly girls. The hyperfemme girls, the girls who do their makeup, the girls who do their hair, the girls who love Pokemon but also love to be girly girls and not just gamer girls. Like, that's who they made Enamorous for. It makes sense why they would have put it in a game that was set so far in the past. And that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of fucking Pokemon in this generation, in this game. And we're still not done. We have 4 more. Overquill. Overquill is an interesting concept, but honestly, out of the new concepts being given in the games, it sits very low on the list for me. Male. This is a male Basculegion. I love the concept of a Basculegion. I love something that you may or may not know about me. I genuinely hate fish and aquatic animals. I genuinely do. I almost am fearful of them. There's something about a really big freshwater fish that just gets me, bitch. It just gets me. I love it. Female Basculegion, S tier. The last Pokemon that I'm going to be ranking on this list, because these are all the Pokemon that are native to Hisui that you can capture for yourself, is whatever the hell this bear thing is called. Ursaring, Ursaluna. It's A tier for me. So here's the finalized list. I will be taking this, I will be saving this, and I will be posting it onto the Discord in the Pokemon channel. Tomorrow, just for FYIs, we are going to be playing Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. I will see you there. We're going to be going probably to Celadon City to fight Erica. It's going to be a great episode. I'm excited to do it. I hope that you all show up. On Fridays is when we are going to continue to be playing Pokemon Legends Arceus with probably some mixed in like grinding episodes like I did yesterday. Today is Sunday and yesterday was Saturday, and I normally don't stream on the weekends at all, but I'm trying to be a little bit more proactive. So if you would like to see how I have been doing on Pokemon Legends Arceus, or if you would like to see where I'm going with that game, then show up to the Friday streams, and also keep an eye out for me when I talk about the stream schedules for the week. I really love you all. I appreciate you all. Since we are here, let's do a little bit of a... Let's raid someone. Is there anybody to raid today? I normally don't stream on on Sunday, so I don't even know, girl. Like... Who to raid, who to raid, who to raid. Exactly. Let's raid Snowy. Snowy's playing Life is Strange. Snowy is part of the community. Snowy is a VTuber, PNG tuber. Recently got affiliate. Great person. Right now he's playing Life is Strange. I'm gonna put the raid message in the chat unless somebody else wants to do it. Can you just hit !raid? Copy the raid message in the chat. When you go into the stream, make sure to put it in there. And yeah, that's really it. I will see y'all all tomorrow for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Well, as usual, on Wednesday we're going to be doing some Dynamax Adventures. On Friday we're going to be doing some what is it called? Pokemon Legends Arceus. Tuesday, we're going to be doing some cosplay moments and Dress to Impress. So if you want to play Dress to Impress with me on Tuesday and cosplay or have a moment, definitely do it. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a fun week regardless of what we do for the rest of the week. I will see you all very soon. I'm not going to hold you anymore. Bye! Follow me on my socials, especially YouTube.